We're live, yay! I am Tracy Matthews. I'm so excited to be here on the Ask Me Anything Q&A. This is one of my favorite things to do. I love asking your questions or answering your questions, one of the two. Anyway, I'm gonna be on here answering any question that you have. So as you're coming in, I know that this stream just started, so people will start to trickle in slowly. Please post your questions in the comments below. No question is too, well, I'm gonna say no question is too big or too small. And some of them might be too big because I can't do any like screen viewing or anything like that here, but anything that I can answer verbally, I will do my best to answer your question. Now, I'm here behind the scenes with Allison. Allison, hi there.
Hey, Tracy. Hey, everyone. Super excited for this.
Allison's behind the scenes. She's going to be reading out the questions to me. You're not going to see her. She said, please don't put me on camera. And I said, okay, well, we won't.
Not camera ready today.
And Allison is an actress, so she knows all about being camera ready. So before we get started, I really would love to know who's here. So if you're joining me in the comments, just type your name, your business, and where you're calling in from, and let me know. Some of the comments won't show your, I'm streaming to multiple locations, so it won't always show your name when you're commenting. So I just kind of like to know who's here. At any moment, if you have a question, please post the questions in the comments. We have Quay and Nakia, our coaches from the DI, and Allison here curating comments. They're grabbing them and putting them in a doc so that I can answer them. And honestly, I'm here for anything. I already have dry mouth from talking a lot. And before we get started, I just kind of want to launch this call off with a little share, which I like to share stories. And I'm going to hopefully share some really fun stories throughout this masterclass. So I was writing in my journal this morning and I was really reflecting on how far I've come in the last 15 years. I moved to New York 15 years ago, and I thought that I'm going to probably get teary here. I'm moving in a week, and it's been an interesting experience because I'm super emotional about it. I moved into this apartment 3 years ago with the hopes. So it was a huge leap for me. It was a big investment, but I knew that I needed to change my environment and do something differently if I wanted to attract some of the things that I wanted in my life. One of those things was a relationship. And I met my boyfriend, Jason, who I'm moving to Arizona to be with, in this apartment. He literally was invited over by a consultant of mine, and he walked through this door, and it brought me so much. It also brought me an opportunity to start many new businesses. It brought me an opportunity to actually live a lot closer to my sister and be able to support her with twins that were born about 3 years ago as well. And so much has happened in this apartment. And when I was thinking back, like I was writing my gratitude list this morning, and I was thinking back to like where I was 3 years ago when I was making the decision to move into here, into this place. And I'd been through so much at that time. Flourish and Thrive had been around about 5 years. I had my new jewelry company for about 7 years at the time. And I was reflecting on like where I was when I moved into New York City. You know, I was really hopeful. I moved my company from San Francisco to New York with the hopes of New York City being the place where I was going to really make it big, right? And that first year out of the gate, I crushed it. I had my best year in sales. In fact, I was really close to the $1 million marker with my jewelry company, which was a lot at the time because I wasn't designing fine jewelry. I was designing basically a demi-fine price point. So most of my pieces, I did have a fine jewelry collection, but that wasn't the majority of my sales. It was mostly pieces that I was selling for $50 to $150. So I was doing a lot of volume and really growing my business. And that year was followed by 2008, which basically completely took my business out. And New York didn't actually, in the beginning, offer me this amazing opportunity. My sales grew in the beginning. It actually tanked my business because of a lot of other things that happened along the way. And I remember back to that time, you know, just like thinking back, like feeling crushed, like, what did I do? Why did I move here? I moved my sister here, and I felt so much guilt and failure and so many emotions, like all the feels that you feel, right? And it was devastating for like many, like a few, at least a good year after, but many years after, I felt like a total fraud. Like, who would want to listen to me and all this stuff? And I was ambitious though, and I knew I wanted to do big things in this world and start a new jewelry company, because I tried to get away from it and start teaching yoga and do that as my career, but I couldn't get away from it. In fact, I tried and I just couldn't stop making jewelry. Robin, my co-founder at Flourish and Thrive, will tell you that. And so I'm like, okay, so here's my situation. I have all these beliefs about myself. I'm telling myself some really terrible stories that are not serving me right now. What am I going to do to actually get over that? And so I started some really strict, disciplined practices that started with my morning routine. I would get up every day. I would journal. I would meditate. I would say affirmations to myself 25 times in the morning and 25 times in the evening. And those affirmations were basically training my mind to think differently about my situation. Now, affirmations don't work just in and of themselves. You have to have action behind it. And so I would do something every single day that absolutely terrified me. And I remember this one day I was, and I posted about this in the group this morning. I remember this one day I was online. I had met this woman, Kate Northrup. She's actually going to be on my podcast in a couple of weeks. Allison's getting that episode ready for editing and stuff like that. She was introduced to me by my friend Danielle. And I met up with Kate. Kate was this feng shui artist. She's like, hey, can I put you on my email list? She was doing a lot of different things at the time. And I was like, sure. So one day I got an email from her, and it was about this online program that I'd never heard of these people before, but it was an online program teaching people how to grow their business online. And in the process of reinvention and growing myself, I knew that if I was going to survive as a jewelry designer and a maker, I had to reach my customers online. Now, this was literally in 2012 or 11. I can't remember, 2011. What is that? That's 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago. And I didn't join the program in the first round, meaning I got an email saying sign up, we're closing doors, and I didn't sign up. And I had an opportunity to join because they had sent out one more email and saying hey, I get it. You might be on the fence, but here, we're opening the cart one more time. Just jump in, try it. If it doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. We'll give you your money back. I was dating this guy named Chris at the time, and he's like, what are you doing? You are broke. Your business just failed. You have $3,000 in the bank. You're going to spend $1,500 on a course. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He was hating on me for it. And I was like, you know what? Something about this feels right. I am terrified right now, and I could potentially lose that money. But for some reason, there's something right about this program. And I invested. I didn't even know what to expect. And something really crazy happened. I dove deep into the trainings that they gave me. And at that point, I literally was making probably about $2,000 a month. Living in New York City, that is not a lot of money 10 years ago in my process of reinventing. At that point, it was barely, it didn't even cover my rent, quite frankly. And I had to subsidize it by teaching yoga and doing a bunch of side jobs in order to make ends meet. And this, mind you, is after having a business that was doing almost $1 million of revenue. I literally had to start over. And, but I trusted the process. For some reason, I knew that this was going to be the thing that was going to help me get to that next level. Within a couple of months, things changed really quickly. Immediately my sales started to grow. In fact, I had a desire to actually make $15,000 a month in profit. That's what I wanted to take home. And I was doing my custom jewelry business at the time, and I was just working on getting more customers, getting more clients, and getting people to actually take an action on my website. And month after month, my sales kept growing, my business kept growing. And within 18 months, I not only was making $15,000 a month in profit, I actually had my best month ever in the history of money that I took home, and a $30,000 a month in profits month. And I'm not telling that to you to make you feel bad, but I know that sometimes when you're faced with a decision, okay, do I want to invest in my business and take this step? Or do I want to save the money and hoard in a way, because that's going to make me feel safer? And you're the only person who can make that decision for yourself. But I know from doing a lot of work on myself and investing in myself a lot, I've invested probably hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point in my business education over the last 10 years, that every time I've made an investment in my business, it forces me to go all in to discover and uncover what I don't know. And one of the most powerful things about taking that program was it got me to see all of the things that I was missing in my strategy. And that is the exact reason why I created Laying the Foundation for you guys. We launched Flourish and Thrive Academy about 8 years ago. Laying the Foundation was our signature program. And I did it because I realized after taking that program, oh my gosh, these were all the gaps that I was missing. I bet a lot of people who are starting a jewelry business or a product business are missing those same things. And I wanted to create something that would help speed up your results and get you the same kind of results that I did all those years ago. And we hear from our students all the time. Our standard successful students typically have increases in revenue of 33 to 55% in the first year of taking the program. Our superstars end up doubling their sales. And so it really depends, if you're in the median right there, in the successful student median, imagine if your business were to grow by 40% this year. What would that do for you just by investing in something? How would that change your situation right now? And so I know sometimes when we have something in front of us that seems like a huge investment, oh my gosh, is this really going to work for me? It's hard to kind of see what you don't see because you don't know what's behind the curtain. So I wanted to share that story because Laying the Foundation, we're closing enrollment for this cohort that starts on February 1st on Thursday. That's tomorrow. If you enroll today, you are going to get a very special bonus. I'm going to share this with you right now. If you enroll today and or while we're on this call, you are going to get 2 bonuses. My team is going to kill me, but I promise we're going to pull this off somehow. You are going to get a special bonus called the Success Maximizer Bundle. It is valued at over $1,200, closer to $1,300 actually. And it's designed to help you be more productive and help you get your vision on track with what you're doing and get your head in the right place. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we are so clouded by the noise and the information that's surrounding us that it's hard to focus. And so we have bright, shiny object syndrome, oh, let me look over here. Oh, let me look over here. And it prevents us from, focusing on the things that matter. And so this bundle is really designed to help you focus on the things that are going to move you towards your goals. That's valued at almost $1,300. It is yours today as a bonus. Plus, if you join while we're on this Q&A call today, you just need to head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/LTF. You get access to a very special kickoff call with me for Laying the Foundation. And if you've already enrolled, you'll get this as well. But this is only for people who sign up, who've already enrolled and are joining me on this Q&A today. So with that being said, I'm going to jump into some of the questions. I'm going to take a sip of water while Allison reads the first question to me.
Awesome. So we're going to start with some questions that were submitted last night. So the first question is, what if I'm interested in joining Laying the Foundation, but wouldn't be able to start next week when the program begins? Am I still eligible for the program?
You are eligible for the program because this program is a self-paced program. We would love to ask you to actually join with this cohort because it is so much better doing it as a group. But if you need to start a week or 2 later, that's totally cool. You have 3 weeks to try it out risk-free, meaning you can try it out, enroll today, try it out, and try it for 3 weeks. If it's not for you, then we'll give you your money back. Seriously, I'm so confident that this is awesome. We don't get that many refunds because people go in thinking oh, I'm just going to try this out. And they're like, oh my gosh, my mind is blown. I must stay. This is life-changing for me. In fact, within the first 3 weeks, we give you one of the most pivotal exercises, which is called the Dream Client Clarity Kit, which everyone struggles. Even if you already have a successful business, revisiting this over and over again is really powerful to help you lean in to your results and refine your messaging, your core values, and find those things that align with the people who want to buy from you the most. And so You can't start right away. It's totally cool. You can just start when you'd like. You're going to have lifetime access to the program. Plus, you'll get to participate in a group in this cohort. And it's so much better when you do it with a group. If I have any Laying the Foundation grads on this in the comments, I would love for you to hear what it was like if you participated in one of the cohorts, because it is amazing. I also wanted to mention this too, Allison. I think I saw one of the questions there. Someone who is a graduate or someone who took Laying the Foundation previously asked if they could join with this cohort and how they can participate in the group. I think that's on the list, right?
Yes, we have a question that was, if I have taken LTF in the past, how do I participate now, or am I even able to participate with this new group?
Yes. Okay. So you are able to participate, but if you're already a graduate, and you just have to become a member of the Diamond Insiders, and you get a 1-year access to the Diamond Insiders with enrollment. So if you are someone who is joining us now, you're going to get 1-year access to the Diamond Insiders. We have members in the Diamond Insiders who've been in there for 5 years since we started it. It is our mentorship community, and it's $49 a month. So all you'd have to do to participate in the group aspect of it is to join the Diamond Insiders. And you can join that just for the period of time for the 3 months, or you can stay for as long as you'd like.
Awesome. That is perfect. So let's go on. There was another question from last night. Is there a syllabus for the LTF course that we can print out so we can plan ahead before the February 1st start date?
That is a great question. We give you a syllabus when it is dropped on Monday, and we'll have that created for you. But you'll also see all the modules. Basically, it's a 12-week program, and modules 1 through, you get 1 module dropped a week, basically. 3 modules, so modules 1 through 3 get dropped. Let me backtrack a little bit. When you get access on Monday, February 1st, you will have access to the Getting Started module, which is technically module 0. And you'll have access to module 1 right away, which is your business foundations. This just talks about your business model, your vision of success. We talk about getting your mindset in the right place, and we have some amazing exercises for that. Plus, we're going to talk about revenue streams and get you kind of thinking about how you actually want to sell or are selling in your business. Module 2 is 2 and 3 are your brand foundations and your brand story. So those get dropped in subsequent weeks. So you get 1 module a week, and then on week 4, you get an implementation week. So the modules, and you can check this out on our offer page over at flourishthriveacademy.com/LTF. You'll see everything right there. There's a slider where we talk about the program, and you can scroll through the modules. But it's basically 3 modules get dropped, 1 every single week. And then on the 4th week, you get an implementation week. And then on the 5th week, 6th week, 7th week, a new module each week, and then an implementation week. And then same thing on the 9th, 10th, and 11th week, new modules, and then implementation week. And we wrap it up and have a little party. So that's the way it goes. And that is the general curriculum. And then also when you're in the Diamond Insiders, you'll get a call schedule that is posted in that group. So we have events in the group where you can go and ask your questions on a live Q&A call, and the coaches will be there to answer questions about the course materials and content. And they're also going to be going through this new program with you because they take it every single time as well.
Awesome. And if you have more in-depth questions, I would suggest you go check out the Laying the Foundations page on our website, and you can get all the deets on each module.
And I just want to make sure, Quay, if anyone has any questions about this or they want to grab the link, we're going to have a pinned post on the main Facebook page, and we'll have we'll drop the link in the chat on the other platforms as well. But you can just write this down. It's flourishthriveacademy.com/LTF.
Awesome. So now we have a few questions that were submitted just now on our live. Lula asks, what is the core of your course? So I guess the core mission or value, I guess, I'm assuming.
Maybe the core, or what's included, that doesn't really make sense to me. What's the core of the course? What's it about? What are you going to learn?
Yeah, I'd say maybe like the I'm assuming maybe like the core takeaway.
Okay, so we have several programs here, and I'm just going to break through like who they're for and what they're for. Laying the Foundation is basically the program that we recommend to people who are having issues communicating their story and selling their products, whether it's in person, online, or whatever. The clear indicator that this program is right for you is likely that you're not getting consistent sales. So we use this frame through the entire program through what I call the desire brand effect. It's a methodology that we created and that all of our programs are filtered through. So if you are struggling to get consistent sales, or you've hit a growth plateau and you're struggling to get past the six-figure marker, like $100,000 in annual sales, this program is typically the best choice for you. So that it's designed to solve the problem of consistent sales. Now I can go into granular details, but that's going to make your head spin, and it doesn't really matter. The methodology and the way the program's laid out is perfectly paced, and it's in a logical manner to help take you step by step of all the things that you need to look at and consider. Now, my co-founder, Robin, has a saying, and you've probably heard it other places too. You don't know what you don't know. And the number one thing that people who go through this program, who think that they have a successful business, say after they start digging in is that, oh my gosh, I had no idea that I was missing this huge thing right here. Because there are a lot of things about marketing. If you aren't trained as a marketer, Allison and I are students of marketing. We are always learning. We're consuming like the newest information, but we also had to build a strong marketing foundation. And if you joined me for the masterclass, you heard me talk about this. Marketing is the fuel that leads the sales engine. So if we're looking at a linear path, if you don't get the marketing down, you aren't going to get the sales. And they go hand in hand. And so it's really important for you to understand how to develop good marketing. Because if you don't have that, then you're going to always be struggling with crickets. And a lot of that starts with really identifying and understanding what makes your dream client tick. It is not an easy exercise, but it is one of the most life-changing, profound exercises you will ever go through. And you get to go through that in the second module. And it's like insane. And I'm telling you this because literally if you invested in LTF and you decided it wasn't for you, honestly, just taking those first three modules, just having access to the Dream Client Clarity Kit would be blow your mind. It's totally worth it. Even just try it out. So that is the number one thing. And I've said this several times on lives, and I probably already said it today. That is the number one thing that people, biggest takeaway that people have is oh my gosh, I didn't understand what I was missing. I was going too broad. I didn't understand this person enough. And we ask you the right questions to help you dig deep into the psychology of why this person would buy from you. And when you can dig deep into the psychology of why this person will buy from you, then you can understand how to market to them and what motivates that person to buy. And it's not what you think. And that's the thing. And it's different for everyone. And it's really powerful.
Love it. And Lula actually had a follow-up question, which I think is a really good one. She says, I used to sell in art shows, all in person, which have since then all been canceled. What is your advice to start pivoting to the virtual world? And how can LTF help me do that?
That is such a great question. And I know that a lot of people, raise your hand, just type in the comments, live show or something, or art show in the comments if you're struggling because your art shows have been canceled. I mean, it doesn't really look like these restrictions and lockdowns are going to be changing anytime soon. I know last summer some of the shows opened up again, but people were resistant. I know that foot traffic was really down. We've been talking about this for literally 3 years about the decline of the art show circuit. It's becoming harder and harder and harder. And then COVID comes around and a pandemic, and everyone's well, heck, there goes my business. And what we teach you to do is how to turn those customers into online buyers. And so we walk you through the psychology and structure of the basics of what you need to do, from building a website that actually sells for you, from building your email list, getting people from your in-person events to sign up for that email list. like transitioning from the offline to the online world. It's a huge part of what we're teaching. In fact, that is like probably one of the number one reasons why we just went through a massive overhaul. We already addressed that in the program before, but we went through a massive overhaul of the program to make sure that we made it crystal clear on how to do this, because a lot of people are suffering from that same pain point. And so we're going to walk you through all the steps and to do that, like how to build a high converting website, how to set up your business on autopilot so that your business is like making money even when you're like sleeping. That takes some time. I'm not going to say it's going to happen overnight. That does take some time, but we're going to teach you the principles of that. We're going to share with you how to build an email list, how to run successful promotions, how to market to those people in a way that you're always fueling that sales funnel so that you're getting sales online all the time. And the best part about this too is, like, I know a lot of people here have sold to stores and had like maybe like a trifecta or like a business with multiple revenue streams. But the awesome part is we show you how to kind of take all those revenue streams and channel it in to using your website as a sales tool for those revenue streams. So it works really, really well.
Awesome. So our next question is more of a business question. And this is what it is. She says, hey, Tracy, I usually hold a huge sale at the end of April and usually start promoting it starting in the second week of April. What I've noticed is that no one buys until the end of April. So this year, I'm going to start promoting it starting on the third week in April instead. Do you think that's a good idea, or do you have any other suggestions of what I can do other than waiting until later to promote the sale? Thank you so much.
Well, I think that is a really interesting observation, because you should always take a look at the data. And the reason why people are probably buying at the end of April is because Mother's Day is right around the corner. And also, if you're of the Christian faith or even a secular faith and you celebrate Easter, or if you're Jewish and you celebrate Passover, those typically happen at the end of March and April. So people aren't necessarily focused on that stuff then. So first and foremost, that's great awareness. I encourage everyone to take a look at their trends in their business to understand when people are buying. Now, everyone's going to have different trends. But what I would say is that an opportunity like that, what I would think about is like, how can you really build an engaged wait list of people who are excited for your offer once it's released at the end of April? So what I would do is start teasing it at the beginning of April. I think April, Allison, maybe you can Google this for me. I think Easter is like at the beginning of April this year. I'm not 100% sure, but you can start
April 4th.
Yeah, so you can start maybe teasing it like right after Easter. And typically I like to start teasing a promotion about 14 days in advance. But you can create content like sneak peek content and all these other things to like prepare people and get them on the list. Because when you build that anticipation list, it makes your offer and the sale or event that you're going to have so much better. So 10 to 14 days in advance, I would create some teasing and anticipation, start to build a special interest list. And then about 7 days before, I would start hardcore building a wait list of people who are ready for the offer. And then I would keep the offer really short, that sale period, maximum 4 days, but the shorter the timeline, the better. Just give them a heads up right away about the period of time. I would not make any event like that longer than 4 days. Actually, like 2 to 3 days is a little bit better. It will force people to actually take action. And I would also have a limited quantities on certain things that will sell out quickly. And the reason why you want to do that is because when people see that things are selling out fast, they literally will not waste, they will get there early the next time, and especially if it's something that they really want. Alex Camacho, a graduate of our higher level program, has done this all the time. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention the other programs I do that for. Just realized that. Oh, well, it doesn't matter now, but if anyone wants to know about like what the other programs are for, I can talk about that later. I started answering a question and I answered one part of the question and didn't answer the rest. But anyway, Alex, who was in our Momentum program for a long time, she really became a master at that. We worked with her for a long time, and her collections, when she would drop a new collection, she wasn't putting it on sale, but it would sell out in 15 minutes. Like during COVID. Like it was so good. And we teach you that strategy. So it's awesome. And my lips are a little dry, so I'm going to put some gloss on. Okay.
Awesome. So we have a few questions from existing LTF students. One of them says, will I get the new bonuses as a member of LTF and DI? Also, can I join the course on Monday with the new group?
So yes, you can join the course with the new group. As far as the bonuses, you get any of the program bonuses, but we've changed things around with the like the pay in full bonus or bonuses that were expiring. You don't get those because it's a different offer this time. But you get to keep the bonuses that you had before. If you would like those, you can reach out. If you would like the other bonuses, we offer them. It's sort of like a secret thing. We offer them to students for a special rate, let's say. And you can just email us at support@flourishthriveacademy.com. And Nakia and Abby can help you and identify like what you're eligible for and what not. And then if you do want to purchase the other bonuses for a discounted rate, then we can discuss that with you.
Awesome. And I wanted to read a fun shout out from Chloette in the comments. She says, hi, newbie here from New York. I'll be launching my jewelry business, Twin Elegance, this weekend. I want to start up on the right track, so I decided to sign up for LTF before I even made my first sale. I'm so looking forward to the training and finding out about my dream client and all of the great mentoring.
I am so excited for you. Congratulations on taking the leap. It's going to be awesome. And for those of you who joined a little bit late and you're on the fence, if you are thinking about joining Lay in the Foundation, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you join while we're on this Q&A. And here's the reason why. There's two reasons. One is that you get the Success Maximizer bonus when you enroll today. And that is a very special bonus that is designed to help you be more productive, focus on the right things, get your head in the right place, and act like the chief visionary officer of your business. And it's designed really, actually, I created the entire thing. It's designed with journal prompts and mindset trainings, and also other visionary tools that I've created for some of my other clients, my private clients as well. So super awesome. It is a bonus when you join today. Plus, if you join while we're on the live Q&A, you get to participate in a kickoff call with me on Monday next week. And that is an awesome opportunity for you to get coaching from me in your business. So I would highly recommend joining now. If you're on the fence and thinking about it, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/LTF right now and get in there. And I just want to remind you, we have the option to pay in full, which is the best value. You save about $400 on the financing fees, and you get an awesome pay in full bonus, which is our emails that sell automated bundle. Super awesome. This is we give you a lot of amazing resources and tools and templates to help you actually set up automation in your business so that when someone opts into your email list, you're actually making money in a sequential way without you having to do anything. And it's really amazing. But we also have a really flexible payment plan. And that payment plan is delivered over a 12-month period to make it super easy for you to make the investment every single month. And I know sometimes people are like, oh, well, I don't really have that extra money right now. What Robin and I have always said and always encourage you to do, like this program is designed to teach you how to sell and market your work. What is your average price point for your products? Like, let's say you have your average price point of the things that you sell is $50. All you would have to do to get in on the payment plan would be to sell 4 pieces extra a month in addition to what you're doing now to actually make that investment work. Is that something that's possible? You can literally call up probably 4 or 5 friends and families and ask them for your help and do that. And we're going to be giving you the tools to do that and so much more. One of the things that a lot of people say when they join the program is like, oh my gosh, within the first 2 weeks, I made my investment back just by one thing that I learned, because that thing that they've been missing in their business just clicks. And so, and I also want to remind you again, like we also have the 3-week test it, try it out, risk-free guarantee. So if you decide it's not for you, you can always join, turn in your homework, and cancel before the 3 weeks, and we'll give you a refund. All right.
Okay. Next question is from Susan. She asks, does this help for people who do not mass produce or have employees making our products? I create jewelry, beaded jewelry mainly, that is more on the time-consuming side. So I can't really wholesale or farm out the work. But I just haven't been able to market what I make.
So she's asking if it works for people who don't have a big team.
Yeah.
And manufacturing. Yes.
And who are like the makers themselves.
This is designed for solopreneurs, solo makers who are running their own business. There's so many tools in there. We teach you productivity tools. We teach you how to basically schedule your time so that you're focused on the right things. We teach you the 75% rule, which is all about where you should be spending your time if you want to make money with your business. And having that sort of, I posted a funny meme on my personal Instagram the other day about like, oh my gosh, I love being, what was it? Let me find it really quickly. What did I say? This meme. I love having routines until I get bored, and then I love to be excited, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I love a routine again. Well, I get it. Like a lot of us are like that. I'm like that. And routines are really helpful. Scheduling is really helpful. And we teach you how to manage your schedule in a way that allows you maximum impact, but also allows you for maximum excitement so that you can spend time being creative.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Here's another more business related question from Rebecca. She asks, my current business name is RMK Creations. Do you think a name change can ever help with sales?
It certainly can, but it depends on what you're going to change the name to. In a lot of ways, I don't know that it really matters. Because my next question would be like, why do you want to change the name, and why do you think your name is not a good name? I think certain people like are really good at naming, and like for instance, I use Alex as an example a lot. And actually, I'm going to use, so Alex Camacho, her business is called Acid Queen Jewelry. And the reason why it's so perfect is it's like literally fits into the naming and the design and the style of her brand. Like she hit the mood right away. My business has always been my name. Tracy Matthews Designs was my first business. My jewelry business now is just under my name, Tracy Matthews. It's not original. That's awesome because there's a lot of brand awareness with that. The challenge with that is like, I could never really sell my business unless I wanted to sell the rights to my name. And it becomes more challenging. People do it. I know a lot of people who've done it, like Alexis Bitar and many others. Kate Spade would be another example. People do it. But the issue is that over time, like, do you want to be selling your name? So I guess you have to think about like, what are your objectives with your business? And have people told you that the name is repelling? Or maybe there's another way that you can position your brand, which we will teach you how to do inside the program, that makes that name make sense. Because I don't think that the name is necessarily the thing that's deterring people from buying your jewelry. It's probably your marketing.
Awesome answer. Here's another one, and this one's about getting more customers. Rachel says, I just started out and I opened my business during COVID. How do I get more customers? I only have an email list of like 30 people, and they're mostly friends and family. I've tried Facebook, ad, creative marketing, and so far it hasn't really converted. I know I need to get my brand out to more people, and I'm sure I'm not 100% on who my ideal client is. I guess my question is, what would be the best way for me to start building more followers who want to buy from me?
Great. Love this question. It's a big one. I was about to take notes, but I think I got the gist. You started your business in COVID. You don't have a big audience. How do you build the audience and keep it going? Well, obviously the program is designed to help you do that, but the quick answer is this. Build your external following using the resources that you have. So there's a guy named John Tabus. He started a company called Books. It's a flower company. This guy had been a successful business owner and entrepreneur for a long time. He was working, or actually he wasn't an entrepreneur. He was a successful, he was successful in his field, whatever it was, but he decided that he wanted to start this company. He had just had a baby. His wife thought he was crazy, and he was like, or he didn't have the baby, his wife had the baby, but you guys get the picture. And he decided he wanted to go out on this venture. He partnered with someone else, and he's kind of the sales and marketing guy. And the other guy was the idea guy who wanted to bring these farm to table flowers to the market. So, and they had no budget. They had a little seed money of their own personal savings. They didn't have investors in the beginning. He's like, how can I grow this business on a shoestring? And so I'm sure he invested or worked with a business mentor, I would guess. But he sent out 1,700 personalized emails to his network. He went through his basically alumni organization. So anyone he ever knew from any school, like all of his Facebook friends and followers, he went through his friends and family network, all the things. Throughout all of that, and if you have a business network, you can leverage that too, to send out 1,700 personalized emails to sell flowers. Now, flowers, we know, typically if you're buying like artisanal flowers that aren't at a bodega on the streets of New York City, a bouquet is typically like $50 or $40 maybe to like $100 for nice flowers, right? So that's basically the price point that he was selling at. Very similar price point to jewelry. And in 1 year, just by that grassroots methodology, and I walk you through that specific methodology, the guy sold $1.7 million of flowers. And I think part of the reason I wouldn't have that high of hopes, like as a jewelry designer just starting out, to go that big. And I beg anyone to like actually break that ceiling and prove me wrong, just because flowers are something that people purchase over and over again because they die. And people might just purchase a couple pieces of jewelry a year. However, that strategy works really well. In fact, we did this strategy at one of our momentum retreats about 2 years ago. It was a retreat I had in San Francisco with our high-level students. Many of them were like getting ready for the holiday season, and we wanted to challenge them to make money while they were in the retreat, to make the investment that they had spent to travel back in that period of time. This was pre-COVID. We were allowed to meet in person. We gave them a simple framework to text or email someone who had been on the fence about an order, someone who they think would maybe buy from them, or a random friend and family member. In 48 hours, we made $36,000 as a group. And I think that ended up increasing to like way more than that over like the week. So that kind of strategy really works. And I think there was only like maybe 25 people in the room because half of the people, and then some of the people were streaming too, because they were streaming in. So this strategy works. So this is, we call it the grassroots strategy. We teach it in the program. We also teach it in our TYC workshop, Train Your Customers to Buy From You Online workshop. And it works when you do it. But the reason why it doesn't work for some people is because they're not really willing to go all in on it. And they say it's cheesy. They send it out to 3 people and don't get a response. And so they say it won't work. The key here is that you have to be detached to the outcome. You just do it. And you're not necessarily asking the person that you're sending an email for a sale. What you're asking them for is a referral. And oftentimes in that ask for the referral, people are curious. They want to go take a look at what you're doing, and they end up being customers too. So that's one great way. Another way is to build your basic social media following, and then try to get those people onto your email list. That one is a longer game and takes a lot more strategy and time on social. But if you feel comfortable with that strategy, then it works really well. That's a more of a long game strategy. And then as in the program, we also teach you more advanced strategies to grow. What do you guys think of that grassroots strategy? Would you be willing to try it? If the answer is yes, give me a heck yes in the comments, because I'm seriously curious.
Awesome. Here's another question from Brittany. Actually, this is a 2-part question. She asks, are there any live trainings in LTF, or are they all recorded? Also, what is normally the biggest game changer or eye opener for the LTF students? Remind
me of the second part first. So the live component in this LTF cohort. So we only run a cohort one time a year. That has been our history for the past many, many years. So we're starting the cohort on February 1st, and we've only run a cohort one time a year. Now, as far as the live component, the program content and material, the core content is all pre-recorded. And that's because we service people on multiple time zones. So we have people in Australia, in Asia, and we're based in the US. So a lot of our customers and students are in the United States, and we kind of mostly operate on US hours. So for that reason, all of that stuff is live during that time. But you get 1 year access to the Diamond Insiders mentorship program, which has live calls many times a week. So the purpose of the Diamond Insiders is to help you implement your Laying the Foundation program. So you met Dawn, Sarah, and Nicole in the challenge. If you were doing the challenge, they are our Diamond Insiders coaches. We also have core team members of Flourish and Thrive Academy in that group, like Allison's in there and Nakia in there. They're just monitoring comments and stuff like that in Quay. And we're about to bring on a new director of education who will also be in there. So the purpose of that kind of support is, number one, get your questions answered. Number two, they host live Q&A calls. So there's different kinds of Q&A calls that we have. We have, and coaching calls, I guess is a good way to put it. We have an LTF specific call. So if you've been an LTF student, you can join that call. You can jump on and ask any question that you have about laying the foundation. You'll get your questions answered on those calls. We have general business topic calls and events and stuff like that. Plus, my co-founder, Robin, comes in once a month and talks about sales. And she is brilliant. Like, we love having Robin participate in that because her sales calls are really life-changing. And she is like a master at teaching you how to sell in a non-cheesy way. Her expertise is more like conversational sales and emailing. So she's going to teach you more of like the analog methods for sales, but it will help you in all of your other sales aspects. So if you ever have to get on the phone with a customer and deliver great service, if you're ever doing trade shows or events, like when things come back into real life, then you're going to love it. So there are a lot of live aspects to it. And that's why we want you to join in the cohort so that you're moving along with the group, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Here is another question. She says, hi, I just graduated with a degree in jewelry design. My goal is to start my own business. Is this course only for people who already have a business up and running?
I love it when people who don't have a business yet actually join us for Laying the Foundation. The first module is all about your business foundations and setting up the structure of your business the right way. In fact, we partner with a company called Prime Corporate Services, and they will help you if you don't already have a proper entity set up, set your entity up complimentary. And they're going to also share with you many ways that you can save money on taxes. So we get you kind of through those like nuts and bolts, or the soup to nuts of like setting up your business the right way. So, and it's great for people who haven't started up. It's also great for people who already have a business started, because there might be things that you don't have set up already. And you're like, oh shoot, maybe I forgot to do this or that. And so basically just like a checklist in there of items that you need to have from the get-go. And then another reason why I think it's really good for people who are in that startup mode, who don't actually have a business yet, is that you learn from the ground up actually how to grow your business. Yesterday, I interviewed Laura Brunson, and Laura talked about how she had just started her business in January of 2019 when she joined us for Laying the Foundation. She didn't have any sales yet. And it's now almost 2 years later, and slowly but surely, she's been building her business, and she's on track to cross that 6-figure marker in just a few months. And she's really, really stoked about it. So it will help you grow quickly. And Laura said on that call yesterday, you can watch it. It's on the Facebook page and or on that interview yesterday, or in the Marketing Makeover Challenge group. She said, like, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is I wanted to move a lot faster and get results. And in order to do that, you need to invest in yourself.
Awesome. Here's another awesome shout out that we got in the comments from Cheryl. She says, I also signed up last week. despite initially telling myself, you can't afford this. But then when you offered a monthly payment, it became a no-brainer for me. I have spent many hours trying to do marketing on my own. I lost my direction and became discouraged and realized that I need professional consultants who are much more expensive than your course. So it wasn't going to happen for me. Thank you, Tracy and Robin. I'm very excited about getting started.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great, you have the right mindset, because I know that everyone, they look at the price point, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so expensive. And you might be wondering why it's so expensive. Okay, first and foremost, like, we have like an awesome team rocking behind the scenes. We're like paying their salaries to help them support you. Also, like, we deliver tons of free content over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy, which is awesome. But just consuming free content is not a business system or solution. And the way we've structured Laying the Foundation is that it is a business solution and system that you literally implement step by step. It's in a logical order and it makes sense. And when you build, it's like building a house of bricks. Like, you layer one brick on top of each other, and eventually you have a solid house and a foundation that actually works to grow your business. And that's exactly why this program is so awesome. As I mentioned, we spent a year revamping it, made a huge investment to do that. And so I know for myself that when I've done things that actually terrified me, you have skin in the game, and it actually pushes you into action instead of freezing you up. People who consume free content all the time, very few of those people ever really make it to any level of success. They just don't. I've seen it happen over and over again. In fact, Alyssa Miner, another person who I interviewed for my podcast 2 weeks ago, and you might have seen her interview in the group a couple of weeks, maybe last week or whatever. She had taken like 3 challenges with us before she invested in the program. 3 challenges. She's like, I could just figure this out on my own. But like, inevitably you don't. And you just like blow it off. You think you're going to do it and you don't. And then over time, you're kind of like, shoot, like, I wish I would have done something differently, or I wish I would have invested in this program. And she did. And she had been in business for 20 years. She took the leap. She invested in the program. She's like, I'm just going to go for it. Her business doubled last year. And she had her best holiday season ever the year before. And in July, her slowest month ever, she doubled her holiday season sales. So if you're on the fence, like, I want you to do some math right now. If you have a calculator or your phone handy, grab it. Here's the reason why. Most of our students see a 35 to 55% increase in their first year. That's like average result, right? Superstars get like double their sales, like someone like Alyssa. Think about where your sales are now. Think about where you want to be. If you're even just add 40% to that, what would that increase do to you? Take your average sales a year, add 40% to that. How much of an increase would it be? Like, let's say you're doing $2,000 a month. We did the math yesterday on a group call, like 40% on that. Let me do that. Hold on a second. If you're doing, let's see, that's like 26 a year, right? No, wait, 24 a year times 40%. So that's an extra $10,000 almost added to your bottom line. If you're doing $2,000 a month now, that's an extra almost $10,000 that you would make a year. When we're thinking about like a return on ad spend or something like that, like a good return on investment is 2 times. Like, if you're investing in the stock market, there's no way you would get a 4x or 5x return on investment. And so I want you to think about this as an investment, not an expense to your business. Plus, the cool part about it is that you're going to learn you can actually deduct the investment in this course on your taxes. So it's literally like tax deductible. Obviously, you want to check with your accountant on how to structure that. So there's a lot of benefits to investing into ongoing education. So I want you to think about what that looks like for you.
Awesome. Anne Marie has a great question. She says, I'm curious about the legal, finance, and paperwork side of starting a biz, everything besides the marketing. Does LTF cover those things?
We go into that. We have some referral partners, and we go into that in the first module, and other module. We touch base on it later on in the financials, but this is not a. The program is like a deep involved business systems programs. Like actually, like I would, if it depending on where you are, maybe one of our other programs might be better, like Momentum, where we have like financial experts in it. It depends on where you are though, because we teach you the basics. So, and a lot of people don't really need more than the basics. Like what you need is you need to understand general business accounting for your business. You need to understand like how your business entity is set up. You need to understand which professional service providers to actually hire. Highly recommend that everyone has an accountant, that you hire a bookkeeping service or a bookkeeper, and that you have someone who can review your numbers with you over time. And you need to understand how your business entity is set up. That all happens in the first module. And we also have referral partners who we would send you to, like this Prime Corporate Services, who can discuss more in depth on like the specific financials of how you should be setting up your business. So the answer is yes, but it's not like it's not going to be a program teaching you how to do accounting and cash flow and stuff like that. We touch base on those things in our more advanced programs like Momentum, which is, we typically recommend it for people who are doing more than 6 figures.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fun question. Do you have any suggestions on how we can get our products to a celebrity or magazines or the press? I have been able to get through one time, but I'm curious if there are better ways to go about this.
Awesome. So we have inlay in the foundation. Of course, we cover PR because it's awesome. Our resident PR expert, Sabina, is going to give you the formula that actually you can use to pitch. Swipe formula where you can customize your own templates and use it to pitch stylists or editors or whoever you're trying to reach. So as far as getting outreach to celebrities, things have changed a lot since I was working with celebrities back in the day. It used to be that you just needed to get in touch, like find out who the stylist was and develop a relationship with that stylist. And that still does work. But there are certain celebrities who kind of are on this pay to play situation where you might have to pay a celebrity to like actually wear your work, or like an influencer. And I have mixed feelings about this right now because I don't necessarily think it's always the best way to do it. Now, one of my favorite designers, Lorraine West, is doing this incredibly well. I met her 2 years ago at New York City Jewelry Week in a specific BIPOC installation called Here We Are. And she took a program that we've since retired called Multiplier Profits. And I just loved her. She walked up to me. I didn't know, I'd never met her before. And she gave me this big hug. It's you. And I was like, oh my gosh. She has a really great run getting stuff on celebrities, but she's had these longstanding relationships with the stylists who style those celebrities. So if you really want to work with celebrities and you think it's going to be game changing for your business, then I would start to find out which celebrities you want to be on and identify who their stylist is and start developing a relationship with the stylist. I'm warning you, it might be pay to play. Now, there are agencies and stuff that handle this, like celebrity placements and stuff like that. I think it's a big waste of money. You might get your stuff on a celebrity. Most independent brands who aren't doing over 7 figures in revenue can't afford to invest $5,000 a month in programs like that. So I don't always recommend it, especially in the startup phases. But over time, it can work. And other strategies are working with micro influencers and influencers who have big followings. And there are pros and cons to this. The pro is that they have a big audience. And if they really understand marketing and actually email people about stuff, then it's beneficial. The cons to this is that Instagram is changing, and it's also sometimes pay to play if the bigger the influencer is. And the bigger the influencer is also, like, the less engaged their audience is. So, and Allison and I were talking, Allison started with us around October, and she had sent me this screenshot. Allison, do you want to explain the screenshot that you sent me of the stories where those massive influencers engagement crashed?
Yeah. So Instagram has been a little bit all over the place for about a year and a half, and the algorithms have been shifting due to the new features and updates that Instagram has been implementing. So a lot of people mistakenly assume that that only impacts the little guys if you have like a small account. But in the fall, a bunch of different folks on Instagram of all different account sizes, from, you know, maybe a couple hundred followers to millions of followers, were sharing some insight into their analytics. And every single person was hit by about the same percentage, scaled down to the size of their account. So it was pretty crazy to see that, the algorithm affects everyone, and no matter who you are or how big you are, the unpredictable nature of social media can come and get you.
Certainly. And that's why I would say, like, influencer strategy is kind of changing. And so it really depends on the influencer. Like, I think it can be good, but it has to be the right thing. And if it's a pay to play situation, you just want to really be like thinking through all of the outcomes and be okay if nothing comes out of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. There's never, ever a guarantee when you are doing any sort of influencer or celebrity marketing.
Exactly.
But great question. Here is another good question. Would the Laying the Foundation program help me create my own website so that I can move from a third-party platform?
Yes, we have a whole module, websites that sell, and it is awesome. We walk you through how to build a high converting website. We give you like all the best resources for that. We share with you our top website platforms that we enjoy, and so much more. So we're not going to go through the technical stuff of that, because that stuff is really easy to find on the FAQs and the training libraries of the specific website platforms. But we do show you what you need on your website to actually make it work for you. Plus, the best part about it is once you get your website launched, when you join us in Laying the Foundation, you can post your website in the group. Our coaches are going to like give you feedback on what they think you did well, what you can improve. Like, they're all trained, they get it. They built their own websites, and they're doing the work. They're walking the talk, and they're getting the results too. So I want you to keep that in mind, that this is like, if you're really looking for a complete system to help grow your marketing and sales strategy and include that into website platform, and you're kind of like, and you're on a tight budget, like, we include everything in there so that you can build your own high converting website on your own.
Love it. Here is another great question about LTF. Is LTF for me if I am only a seller of jewelry but don't personally design or create it?
Yes. If you make or sell a physical product, yes, yes, yes. There's one part where we talk about like developing collections and stuff like that, where it's kind of specific to makers, but you can use what you learn in those lessons to think through it from a merchandising lens and how that you would approach a dream client. By merchandising, I just mean like how you're assorting the products or the jewelry that you sell.
Great. Here's another one that's relevant to our marketing makeover challenge.
Yeah.
How do I know if I'm actually targeting the right dream client for my brand or not?
You know, because you're getting consistent sales. They don't have, the people that are buying from you do not have price resistance. That means that they are not saying like, this is too expensive, and that you're getting in front of those people and you're making money from your business. Like that, like literally, like the numbers don't lie. And this is why we're always trying to get you to look at your numbers. Like, raise your hand here. You could just write numbers or something in the comments if this is you. If you shy away from looking at the money, looking at the finances, looking at data, metrics, and any sort of analytics, if that is like, you're like, I don't want to look at it. The reason why I say this is because I used to be like that too. And I'm telling you, it is like the biggest disservice. So one of the benefits of being in the Laying the Foundation program is that in the Diamond Insiders, Sarah and the coaches, they have a money talk session where we talk about money and the numbers and the hard things that oftentimes creatives don't really like. And while data kinds of see a bunch of people, number sign, pound sign, hashtag. And while, I know Allison actually loves data and she's also a creative type. Like she's like one of those rare,
I'm a hybrid.
Rare breeds, I would say. But what I will tell you is that the numbers give you power, because the more that you can measure, like understand, like, okay, did this work? Am I getting the sales outcome that I need? So sales are the first numbers you're going to look at, right? Then you're going to look at profit margins. Then you're going to look at data and analytics, like how many website visitors am I getting? What are the conversion rates? And we talk about all those things in the program, et cetera. Like, and then you can use that information to actually make informed decisions. So bringing this back to your dream client, like, if you're targeting the dream client, if your people are like, oh my gosh, I love this, and they're buying a lot of your pieces, right? So that's not happening. There's one of two things that I want you to look at. Like, are you really targeting the person that you want to sell to? And are you getting in front of that person? Or are you playing small and like making your dream client someone who's not really the dream client? Because like, a lot of times we have our own, everyone's got confirmation bias, like every single one of us here. And by confirmation bias, here's what I mean. We've all grown up in our own situation. We were raised in a family situation with parents who have belief systems that were handed down from their parents. We have like ancestral trauma and all these things that have been dialed down from whatever, right? And then there's information that comes from the real world, like our work situation, our personal situation, our spousal situation, all the other types of information coming at us. Now, I have a funny story. My sister said to me the other day, like, wow, like we were talking about a certain topic and my opinion on it was like very different a couple of years ago. And I was like, she's like, wow, you've really done a 360. I feel like we've kind of switched spots. And I was like, yeah, well, I educated myself a little bit more and I learned more about the facts, and I made a different decision based on that information to come forward with a fact-based outcome. And like our environment really informs like what's going on. So if you're scraping by and you barely have any money, it is no wonder that you're probably targeting dream clients that are scraping by and don't have money, that offer price resistance, because you're coming through your own lens. And so we teach you to think a little bit differently about the kinds of customers you're reaching and how you're approaching it. And the numbers do not lie. You will see your numbers increase if you're reaching the right people. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Awesome.
Here is another great question. I'm a single mom and I don't have a lot of time or support. I'm trying to get my business off the ground while still working in a full-time day job and raising my kids. Any tips? I feel like I am sinking half the time.
Yeah, I know. This is the big question. I don't have children of my own, but I'm now technically an unofficial stepmom because I'm not married to Jason, but he does have kids and I help raise them. And it's a lot. Jason talks about the struggles of being a single dad all the time. He has his kids more than half time. So the struggle is real. It's a lot. And I know that single mothers out there who don't, and even like people who are in relationships with their spouse who don't have a lot of support from their spouse, struggle with this same thing, especially when their kids are young and they're not as independent. And so what I would ask you, or what I would advise you to do, based on my many years of experience being a parent, just joking. I'm joking there, by the way. But also being in a big family, my mom raised us as a single parent for most of my life, is that you have to really learn how to prioritize what matters most in the time that you have allotted. So a lot of people, so when it comes to business or taking a program like this and you have very limited time, you got to really think through the lens of like, when am I going to have time to focus when I'm not being interrupted? It's probably not in the middle of the day or like during dinner time when your kids need to be put down and all that stuff. So I try to really get on a strict routine with your children. I would try to keep your energy high by eating healthy, by exercising and drinking a lot of water. because that's going to give you that extra energy either to get up early to work on your business or to stay up and focus on your business after working hours. And we've helped a lot of single parents and a lot of people who are working full-time jobs actually quit those full-time jobs by working as little on their business as 8 hours a week. Now, I want to share with you a story of Wendy Hively. She's not a single parent, so she does have a spouse who helps raise her children, but she's a full-time government job. And she has a company called Charlie Madison Originals. She's been a member of our community for, let's see, about since probably 2014, if I had to guess from memory, if memory serves. She slowly but surely has been building her business on the nights and the weekends. And there have been many times when she wanted to quit, deciding if it wasn't worth it. She joined one of our higher level programs a couple of years ago. She spent 2 years in that program and just graduated from it. And when she started the program, she's like, Tracy, this is do or die time for me. Like, I keep questioning, like, is all this work that I'm investing in this business? Her business has a philanthropic aspect to it. So there's a huge passion for her because she donates money and raises money for military spouses. And it's very important to her because her husband, or she's a military family and all the things that are tied to that. So it's very, very important to her. And she's like, I question myself, like, is what I'm doing really the right thing? I've had this big goal of making 6 figures in my side hustle for a very long time. Now she has limited time, but over the course since 2014 to now, she's slowly but surely built her business. And this year she was happy to say at the end of the year that she crossed the 6-figure mark. And that happened during the pandemic. And what I have to say to you is that if you really want this, eventually, obviously you want to spend your time with your family when your children are young. It's important to have that time with them for their development, and also because they're not going to be young very long and it's a very special time. And I certainly understand that. But also you can figure out how to create a schedule that is actually going to support where you want to go with your life and your business, and create a long-term plan for that. And so investing in programs like laying the foundation or joining our other programs over here, depending on where you are in business, are a great tool to use to actually move you to that next level. Because I know for me that, like, when I have limited time to do things and I'm trying to really get another business off the ground in addition to working more than full-time hours in Flourish and Thrive and my jewelry business. And it's been a challenge, but I'm doing it this year and I am scheduling the time, but I'm also investing in myself to, like, understand, like, here are the gaps that I have and, like, here are my weaknesses. How can I fill those either with team? I have a business where we have the revenue where I can have a team to support me, which is the only way that it's going to work for me to do this. And it's the plan and everything. But I understand where my weak spots are. And so anytime that I've been on a budget with those weak spots, like, I've found ways to fill them either with team or other types of support, like joining a program, taking a course, because I know that in my limited time, I don't have time to do research. That time I want to be spent implementing and have someone tell me what to do. Have you ever been that way? You just want someone to tell me what to do, tell me what to do. In fact, I'm going to share a story with you. This just, like, came to me. I had my first company, Tracy Matthews Designs, for 11 years. And during that time, I just wung it the entire time. I literally was, like, building my business through trial by fire and trial and error and throwing spaghetti against the wall and see what stuck. It worked until it didn't work. I mean, my business failed because I did that, but it also got pretty far by doing that. But the problem was there was a lot of, like, fires burning at all times that I was constantly putting out. And in the low times when I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can handle anymore, I used to say to myself, this was the thing that would, basically the tape that would repeat on heavy rotation in my head. I wish someone would just tell me what to do. Has anyone ever done that? Like, had that experience? You wish someone would tell you what to do? And I'm telling you that because, like, I think that that's a universal problem that a lot of us have. Like, we want the clear path forward, but we get the clear path forward presented to us, but we don't take the clear path forward because we talk ourselves out of it. I'm handing you a clear path forward right now if you're willing to take it. And it wasn't until my business was literally burning, like a ship burning with so many holes in it. Like, we're plugging up the holes, the mast is burning, we're like trying to figure out how we're going to get this going, that I actually decided to invest in myself. I hired a consultant. It was $1,500 a month. And it was the best investment, even though I could barely afford the guy I'd ever made up until that point. And since then, I've made many more investments that were much more expensive in my business, but for very intentional reasons, because I understand that now that if I get the support and help that I need to, number one, uncover the blind spots that I don't know that I have, or fill those blind spots that I don't know that I have, help me fill the weaknesses, because none of us are good at everything. Like, we have strengths. Like, my strength is getting things started and motivating people. Like, that's and being like my creativity and ideation process. That is like, those are my number one strengths. I'm not good at following through on things. I'm not good at doing detail-oriented work that is required to run a business like this or anything else. I have other people on my team who fill those roles because it was hard. I did it when I had to do it, when I didn't have support. And when that was happening, I either had a coach or a program that was showing me step-by-step how to do it, because like, it would take me so long to even set up an email to send out, because I'm not very techie. So, but I figured it out, and I did the work, and I had coaches and people to help me with that. So when I would invest, like, it would help speed up that process so much faster. And so if you're looking for a clear path forward, like, here's your crystal clear sign. It's like standing here right in front of you, and there is zero risk right now. So I want to encourage you to think a little bit bigger than your current situation, because things will change if you're willing to invest in that change, if you're willing to take the steps required to get you to that next step. Does that make sense? Because that's exactly what this program was designed to do. And so I want to remind you, we're already about an hour and 20 minutes in, and we're going to keep answering questions at least for another 40 minutes. But I want to, unless we don't get enough questions to fill that time. But I just want to remind you that if you sign up for Laying the Foundation while we are on this call, and you are someone who is on the fence, you will get access to a call with me on Monday. I think it's at, let me check the time. I think it's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Let me check. Hold on. Checking my phone. Yeah, it's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. That's the scheduled time right now, to a kickoff call with me, where I'm going to walk you through the program details, tell you how to get the best out of it, and also answer any questions for an hour. So it's awesome. You're going to get access to me. That is a bonus just for you signing up now. If you've already signed up, don't worry. You'll still get that, because I reward fast action takers. They get all the bonuses retroactively. Plus, you're also going to get access to a bonus that is about a $1,300 value. And I say about because it's like $10. The values, we added up the values, about $10 less than $1,300. $1,288 is the value of the Success Maximizer bundle. And this bundle is a productivity and mindset bundle that is designed to help you step into your new position, your new promoted position in your business as the chief visionary officer of your company. And so I am super excited to help you do that. So you get those two bonuses if you sign up while we are on this call right now. All right.
Awesome. We have a question from Rachel. She says, I'm totally vibing with this and see the value, but I'm currently strapped financially. Do you accept PayPal payments for this course?
Yes, we do. That's it. Rachel, well, first of all, Rachel, I'm really sorry to hear about your situation, about losing your job and the sexual harassment litigation. That's terrible. No one really wants to be going through that. This is a great question, because sometimes I forget to tell people this, but there's an option. You can do financing through PayPal. You can pay through a PayPal account. That's fine. You can use the payment plan, or you can pay in full using PayPal. But there's also an option with PayPal credit to finance that. All you have to do is log into your PayPal account, and there's an option to use PayPal credit to apply for to join us for the program. So using PayPal is 100% an option, and it's a great option if you are strapped financially, and that's where you can actually get some credit opportunity for you.
Awesome. Here's a question from Vanessa. She asks, what systems do you need or recommend to set up and manage everything in your business? She said, an example, QuickBooks, CRM, project management, etc.
Okay, awesome. That is a great question. In the program, we give you a systems bonus. It's called the Systems to Scale 101, and it's designed to help walk you through setting up systems in your business, because you need a lot more systems than what was just mentioned. But we give you we hand over the 9 top systems that you need to create. But we're going to also walk you through the process of how to create effective SOPs and how to organize them. So we give you all that so that when you're building your business, as your business grows, you can bring on team members. Even if you don't want to hire anyone in your business, we'll help show you how to develop systems that you can use to help optimize your business. Also, in the pay in full option, we give you technology systems and automation to help you actually sell on autopilot, because there's a lot of different types of systems in your business, including marketing systems, financial systems, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute, and project management systems. But these tech systems are the things that are actually going to be awesome, because once you get things automated, then it takes out a lot of manual labor and work that you're actually doing. So you get that emails that sell on autopilot system if you pay in full. Now, as far as the financial, project management, and other systems, I think the user experience on QuickBooks versus Xero. There's also another accounting system called Wave. I've never used Wave, but my astrologer, who's a former accountant in her other life, is good with technology, and so she likes to use Wave. Wave is free. QuickBooks and Xero, there is a monthly fee. They're more robust, is my understanding, than Wave, or at least the baseline of Wave is free. I highly recommend the QuickBooks or Xero for people who have inventory businesses. I use QuickBooks. Probably the majority of the people in our community use Xero. And the reason I use QuickBooks is because that's what I've been using forever, and that's what my accountants prefer. So they like it because it has reconciliations and everything that you need. Now, one of our referral partners, Mariel Diaz of Accounting for Jewelers, loves Xero. In fact, she tried to convince me so hard to get off QuickBooks because it was antiquated in her terms to get on Xero. So a lot of the members of our community use Xero. They really like it. It's a cloud-based system. There's a lot of automation and integrations included in that. You're not going to really go wrong, but what you need to do from an accounting perspective is to make sure that you either understand how to reconcile your accounts, or you hire a bookkeeper to reconcile them for you, which I always recommend outsourcing that kind of stuff unless you actually enjoy it, because it typically takes creative people who don't like it, like 10 times longer than someone who actually enjoys, that kind of work. So that's my advice there. As far as project management tools, my 2 favorites are Asana. I always say this wrong. Asana and Trello. Asana and Trello. But there's a lot of different, I know that our project manager is eventually probably going to move us to Monday, which is one that a lot of people like. And there are many other project management tools, and many of them have free, you can use them for free up to a certain quota or something like that, or a certain number of users. So there's many out there, but my favorites are Asana and Trello. Did I answer all of the questions about the systems?
You did. Yep, that was perfect.
Awesome.
Okay. Stephanie has a question. She says, what would you suggest? What is this? Okay. Sorry, Stephanie. A little bit confused by your question. What would you suggest a person do first? Post a blog featuring pictures of their work and then post to their shop site, or reverse, feature on the website and then blog about them?
Well, your blog ideally should be connected to your website in one way, shape, or form. I think Shopify has a blog application now. And the reason, a lot of people started a blog and then they have a website separately, and their blog has all this SEO, and it's 2 separate things. And the reason why you want the blog connected to your website is because it picks up a lot of search engine results. And over time, if you optimize your website properly, you can optimize your website for local search. I always like to say, you want to be like the top person in your local area. If you live in a big metropolitan area, it's a little bit harder, but that's a lot easier to compete with local search terms and stuff like that in your local area than it is to do like massive search terms like handmade jewelry, because that's a big term and hard to compete with. But when it's connected to your website and it's actually on the same platform, that SEO traffic goes to your website, and the content that you write on the blog actually should capture all those keywords that people are searching for. And so blogs actually become a really powerful tool in helping people find you online. So connect those two. As far as like what to do first, I mean, you're going to have your products in your shop that you're selling. Then we talked about this on the Marketing Makeover Masterclass, and I might have Allison chime in here because she knows more about SEO and stuff than I do. But like on the Marketing Masterclass, we talked about how to use one piece of content. So we typically recommend that you start with a piece of hero content, or take one piece of content and make it into 35. Let me finish my sentence first. So typically you would start with a piece of hero content, and that hero content would be like a video or an audio. It's just something where you can like get your ideas out. If you use video, you can use it in a variety of ways, which I think is better. And then we teach you a system inside the program on how to turn that into multiple pieces of content that you can put on your blog and then share everywhere else. So those pieces of content actually end up being like traffic drivers to your website if you do it right. And we teach you the system to actually use that to get traffic onto your website. Does that make sense? Did I answer the question fully, Allison, or is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I would say the only thing I would add is just to make sure it's clear. You definitely would want to make sure that your sales page is up with that product that you are trying to sell before you post a blog or something like that, because ideally you'd have links from your blog back to that sales page. So if there is no sales page, then you're potentially getting a bunch of people who are checking out your awesome blog post, but then have nowhere to go to take that next step to purchase. So if you're trying to prioritize what to do when, definitely work on getting that sales page up first. And then afterwards, you can create those supporting content pieces that Tracy was talking about that will all lead back to that sales page so that they can purchase your piece.
You know what is so awesome, Allison? Lauren here, Rachel shared her story about how she was like, going through some like crisis stuff. Yeah. And she just like reached out to Rachel and said, like, if you need an ear, like reach out to me. I'm a crisis counselor. And like, the thing I love about that is that's the amazing part about this community is like you make friends who are there to freaking support you for the long haul, and they become your business network. We were talking on a team meeting before, and Natasha, who's our business accelerator specialist, some of you may have gotten on the phone with her at a certain point in time, but she's listening, and she gives us so much feedback from what's being said on the calls and what she hears you guys say. And she's like, one of my favorite things, about the Laying the Foundation program is really the network you develop. You develop a network of peers, which is so invaluable because like, as we say over here, community and collaboration over competition here at Flourish and Thrive Academy, a rising tide really lifts all boats. And that peer network is great because they're a great resource on like experiences, like everyone's coming from their own like experiences to share like how they've handled certain situations. So that part is invaluable, but also that network comes with a wealth of resources and, referral things like, a bunch of people are asking about manufacturing in our Thrive by Design group. And in our paid programs, we have like a huge like list of resources of manufacturers and suppliers so that you don't have to like try to be doing a Google search for like, the one thing that I can't stand about vendors in the jewelry industry in particular is that they don't have websites, and it's so hard to find them unless you like happen to come across them in some way. And so we've been gathering over the years this resource list, which is invaluable. And so that's one of the most amazing things about joining a program like Laying the Foundation and being part of our Diamond Insiders community is the network that you automatically adopt when you participate.
Yes. Oh, and Lauren just commented again. She said, one of my core values is community, and I am all about loving up on it. It's why I joined LTF. Totally my vibe.
And one more backup question on the SEO. Lauren's asking is, do you teach SEO in LTF, or should I use a person to outsource this? I'm clueless. So the answer is yes. We have the basics of SEO. We aren't SEO experts, but we give you the basic standard format for how to SEO your website so that you can do it yourself if you're on a budget. And then as you start to get more advanced, you can outsource it. We just hired an outsourcing expert who is helping us with SEO. When Allison started, they had a handover, and Allison is handling our SEO internally now. But that investment for that person was $2,500 a month for 5 months. So it was a pretty big investment, and I put it off for a long time. But we found out that we had some people grabbing our links and linking us into these black hat sites, which were giving us a bad SEO rating. So we needed to clean up some stuff. So we had to do it. But at the end of the day, we're going to give you some of the basic SEO things that you can do on a short and daily basis. And I love it because Anna Maria shares some insights into that as well. And she is an artist and an actress too. And one of the things that I love about this is that she also is like a ninja, like little small details. And has her website ranking as one of the top jewelry artists in Baton Rouge, which is impressive just by the simple SEO formula that we're giving you. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lauren, what I'll add on to that, because I actually teach the SEO training that's in LTF. You're gonna basically with SEO, it's a big world. But in this course, you're gonna get all of the essentials that you need to make sure that the foundation of your website is set up to succeed and not get into any trouble with Google, which is honestly the most important thing. And then we outline the steps that you can take to then, be an SEO pro and work to get more traffic. But that is totally up to you as to how much time you want to put into that. If you want to put more resources or outsource a more proactive game plan for that, but we'll outline what those steps would look like in LTF.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing, Allison. You're amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you cool for one more question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Angelia asks, what do you think about pre-selling items that have not been actually produced yet? Like a month or so in advance. I have a prototype and we'll have photos soon, but it's not quite ready.
I think pre-selling is a great idea if it works for you. I mean, try it. It can't hurt. I think one of the things that becomes super weird with pre-selling is if you don't have the physical piece and you're using a CAD rendering, it typically looks really weird. It doesn't look like the actual thing, and people can kind of tell. So typically you'd want to try to have something real to photograph. So if you can have a real prototype, not a computer generated image of what you're actually selling, I think that you can 100% pre-sell your work. And did she ask another question like a month in advance? She wants to pre-sell it maybe a month in advance. Yeah, I think that's awesome. So Erin Hendrickson, she's in our Momentum program. She took Laying the Foundation many years ago. She's graduated into our Momentum program. And she won a competition at one of our Momentum events for her pre-sell strategy. And during COVID, everyone was trying to think of different ways to kind of get in front of their audience because their events and art shows were all canceled. Erin lives in Costa Rica. She has an online following and all the things. And so she was like, okay, what can I do to kind of pre-sell these items that I'm thinking about making? So she would do this basically voting on social media, and she pre-sold a ton of pieces, and it ended up generating thousands of dollars for her business when she was like, I'm not sure which, and it helped her. She actually used that pre-sell strategy to develop the collection by getting customer buy-in. So the reason why this is really brilliant is that when people feel like they're part of the process, they actually feel like they're designing with you. So if you can make it about them, do some sort of voting system. So maybe it's Angela, you're saying that you do have the samples. Maybe it's you have people vote on their favorite pieces and pre-sell those items. And maybe you offer some special incentive for purchasing in the pre-sale when they vote and choose with their wallet. The other awesome thing about selling on pre-sale is that people are actually choosing with their wallet. So you don't go into production producing a bunch of things that people don't want. And I've made that mistake before. And this is for solo makers as well as people who are doing like massive production lines. There are many times in my career when in the early days when I had my Tracy Matthews designs business that I would develop a collection. I loved it. I thought it was rad. And I'm like, this is the best thing ever. And I bring it to market and no one bought it. I'm like, wah, wah. And that kind of sucked. But like the only way that you really would get the feedback was when like you would go to the trade show and you would see if the buyers would actually buy it. But the good thing about that is having that feedback, and even if they don't buy it, is like, like there, you're not going to go deep into producing something that people don't want. And so it's great feedback for you to help you grow your collection. And we talk about that process too in laying the foundation.
Awesome. Do you want to do a few more questions, Tracy, or do we have to wrap it up?
Now I can do a few more questions if we're getting. And before you ask the next one though, I just want to mention, I have a hard stop at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is about 23 minutes. So I'll stick around for as long as I can. And I just want to mention too, if you're coming in late or you're kind of filtering into this Q&A a little bit late, because I keep seeing people coming and going. You guys know, Laying the Foundation is open for enrollment right now. We're closing our enrollment tomorrow for the cohort that starts on February 1st. And I'm offering some bonuses if you sign up during this masterclass. Now, if you've already signed up, give me a heck yes in the comments below, meaning if you signed up during this enrollment period, because you also get these bonuses as well. So don't worry, you're not gonna miss out. So basically you're gonna get, excuse me while I wet my whistle, take a sip of water. You're going to get a special bonus for today. It's called the Success Maximizer Bundle. It is a productivity and mindset bundle that is designed to help you step into your role as the chief visionary officer of your company. It's hard doing all the things. There's so many things there's so many things that you have to do to run a business. And it's really important to kind of get those things together in order to take that next step and to focus on the right things. And that's exactly what the Success Maximizer Bundle is designed to do. We give you productivity tools, journal prompts, mindset training, and one of my favorite exercises, which is called the Rapid Reframe exercise, that was developed by my boyfriend, Jason, and that he shares with our Momentum students, which is really about when you're coming up against fear and a belief system that's not serving you, identifying the root of that problem and turning that into something that you can actually work with and move beyond. Because the biggest inhibitor to success that I think most people have is their beliefs about themselves. And usually that core belief is that I'm not enough or I'm not good enough, and no one wants to buy from me. Like that's a universal belief that everyone has. But at the root of that, there are these sub-beliefs that we help you kind of like walk through and overcome. So at the end of the day, it is really powerful. So you definitely want that. The second bonus is that you get access to a kickoff call, which I'm going to be running. So I'm going to walk you through the program, share a little bit more about the details of what to expect, and then you have an opportunity to ask me any questions that you might have. So both of those are great bonuses, but you have to sign up while we're on this Q&A. You got about 20 minutes left. Clock is ticking. Wish I had a countdown timer. And if you'd like to join, you can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/LTF. You can also scroll up in the feed. There should be a link in the feed that you can grab. All right, let's do it.
Cool. So we have another question. She says, I've been on the fence about LTF for years, and I've been hesitant about the investment and worried that I won't be able to do all of the work. I have a hard time doing all of the projects in the free workshops because I get overwhelmed with that work, as well as keeping up with my business and family. Any advice?
Well, we give you lifetime access to the program, and that is one of the best benefits, because that allows you to work at your own pace. So what I would say to you, if you're getting overwhelmed, it sounds like it's a scheduling issue. And I get it. People get busy with their families. So I'm not saying that you're like, and you might, want to have resistance to me saying this, But I would just schedule like 30 minutes a day to work on your business, or 30 minutes a day to consume the content that you're going to be learning in the program. And that's how you'll get through it. This is a perfectly paced program for people who want to move slowly. It's perfectly paced for people who want to move at lightning speed. It's also perfectly paced for people who want to go at it and just do it at their own, do it and implement as they go, and kind of go at a moderate pace. So because of the way the program is set up, we have everything's pre-recorded. The modules get dripped every week. You can like take 3 weeks to do module 1 if you want to. Like we don't care. And that's the reason why it's set up that way, because we realize people have different obligations. Now, from a productivity standpoint and you getting overwhelmed in implementation, that to me sounds like a little bit of a different issue. And that's really about you making sure that you're blocking out time to focus on this. And it requires you to make an appointment in your calendar with yourself to actually learn and implement the work. Because typically what happens if we're not serious about something and we're not like committing to our business, we're not going to take the time to actually set time aside to do the work. So and you can decide if you're a morning person, get up a little bit early and do it in the morning. If you're an evening person, do it after the kids are in bed. If you're someone who likes to learn on the fly, you can, many students say that they like to learn at the gym or when they're taking their kids to school. I hear the schools are opening up again, or when they're, for me, like I always like to learn programs when I was like on the subway or walking around the city, because when I move, I actually retain information better. So there are a variety of different ways that you can get the full benefits of the program moving at your own pace, but you have to commit to actually doing it and make it actually an appointment with yourself, I guess is the best way to put it.
Love that. Lauren asks, what time is the kickoff call for LTF students on Monday?
It's at 1:30 Eastern.
1:30 Eastern. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Matthew is asking, is the pay in full 200 code to be offered again? Is that still available?
That ended on Thursday during the masterclass, or Friday, whenever we expired that code. So we gave an extension on that for 48 hours. If you missed it, I'm sorry you missed it. So that's why we reward people who take action fast. That's why we offer incentives early on. I'm not sure if you saw, there's 2 more up. Do you want me to read them, or do you want to grab them, Susan?
I was about to do those 2 if we have time.
Yep.
Okay. Susan asks, how do you compete with shipping costs for places like Amazon, especially with larger products that are not jewelry?
You build a brand that people want to buy from. And I will tell you, I come from a politically diverse family. Half of my family is ready to boycott Amazon right now because of things that happened in the last weeks, and many of the big tech companies. So what I would say is that Amazon is not your competitor. And if you're trying to compete with Amazon, then, I don't know what to tell you, but you're barking up the wrong tree. You have to communicate the brand and the value. And I have to tell you that people actually want to shop from small businesses. I feel like I go to Amazon for things that are consumable items. Like if I need to buy a whole bunch of things at once, like supplements and diapers for my nephew's kid,
home products,
and like eyeliner. If I need to get them all in one thing, that's what I would go to Amazon for. But when I decorated my home, I went to like actually brands. Like I wasn't shopping from Amazon. So, or when I buy clothes, like I don't buy clothes on Amazon. And it's making me sad because I might also boycott Amazon. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but because but I do shop from one of their brands called Shopbop a lot. And I like it because it comes in 2 days, and I get it. That's hard to do. But I do feel like when you can build a brand, and that's what we teach you to do in the foundation, communicate your brand story and your message. It's not that hard to compete, because there's 2 things that you can do. You could offer free shipping for items over a certain amount. That helps build your average order value. And typically the way you would do that is you would make that incentive for people who are purchasing more than one item. So I don't know what your average price point is, but let's say $150 is like, let's say your average price point is $50 an item. And, if they buy 3 items, maybe they are buying over $150 worth of products, then they can get free shipping because they're actually increasing the average order value. Now, another thing that I've seen companies do to motivate people to actually pay for shipping is that they offer free shipping for products that for their products for a certain amount or whatever. But the thing is that that free shipping time window is like super long, like 7 to 14 days. And nowadays people don't want to wait that long. So they have an option for like 3-day shipping or like expedited shipping where you can upcharge the shipping there. And a lot of people take up on the expedited shipping because they want to get their products faster. So that's another way that you can compete with Amazon with the free shipping cost. But there's different ways to do it. And I think the most important thing to do is to be building a brand and creating a website that creates a user experience where people want to come back, and that you learn how to capture email addresses in a beautiful way where you can actually market to those people after the fact.
Absolutely. Here's a question from Vanessa. She says, I purchased LTF, but not the new version. I have not really done the whole course. Is there a way to upgrade to the new one and get the old LTF out of my purchase programs?
Once you purchase LTF, you have lifetime access. So that means you get upgraded. You just have to reach out to support@flourishthriveacademy.com. And we can help you with that. And anyone who's taken the program before will have access to the new version. Eventually, we are going to close the member side of the old version. So you just need to download anything that you want to keep from that.
Awesome. Let's see. Angelia, would you be able to schedule a one-on-one call tomorrow? If you have questions about anything, I would recommend sending an email to our support email, support@flourishthriveacademy.com. They'll be able to help answer any questions that you have if they're private questions that you don't want to share live. Yeah. Rachel says, if we opt into
can I pause there for a minute? Angela, if you need to talk to someone on the phone, they will call you. So you can just say like, hey, can we pick up the phone and call you? So yes, depending on who's on support, Quay, Nakia, Abby doesn't pick up the phone, but or Natasha, any of those people could actually talk to you. So just email us at support if you need to talk to someone. They can talk to you about your unique situation. Just tell them that you would like to talk to someone on the phone. Sorry. Thanks.
All good. Yeah. Rachel wants to know, if we opt in to the Time Optimizer bundle and have to cancel for some reason, do we still get to keep the bundle? And can you tell us more about what's in that bundle?
So the Time Optimizer bundle is an order upgrade. Basically, you can check it on your way out. It's just $49. It is basically just what it says. It teaches you how to optimize your time. I teach you my favorite strategies for time blocking, scheduling your days, how to be more productive in your work, how to structure project management, and so much more. So it's a great opportunity. If you ask for a refund, as long as you're not asking for a refund for the bundle, yes, you can keep it. So, and we don't offer refunds for our bundles. So it's like, because they're pretty low cost. So yes, but if you do join us for the program and you decide to refund, which I don't think you will because the program's so awesome, but like I said, zero risk, take it for 3 weeks and turn in your homework, and we will give you a refund if you don't think the program's for you.
Awesome. Let's see. Let's pull another question. Here's one. I thought Diamond Insiders was a group for only those in your programs. If not, is there another group for those who are in or have been in laying the foundation?
So the Diamond Insiders is our mentorship community. We've changed things over the years. So if you've taken LTF and you want to be active in our insider community, the Diamond Insiders is the community that we have. So if you would like to, so let's say you joined LTF 2 years ago and you aren't in the Diamond Insiders and you'd like to participate in LTF with this cohort and be part of the conversation, then you can join the Diamond Insiders as in this cohort, and it's $49 a month for the duration of the time that you're in there. So our mentorship community is designed to help implement what you've learned in laying the foundation and our other programs. So it's really an implementation program. We're going to be adding some new assets to it this year, which I'm not ready to announce yet, but I'm super excited about it. And so basically, if you want the implementation support, that's how you get it if you purchase laying the foundation in previous years. And as far as like our I guess people are asking about paid versus non-paid, like the Diamond Insiders, like we have several levels. The Diamond Insiders is our implementation and mentorship group. It's run by our Diamond Insiders mentors and Desire brand coaches, Sarah, Dawn, and Nicole. And we have our team members in there too, but they're the ones who are running the conversation. My co-founder, Robin, comes in and does a call once a month about sales, and she's awesome. And we're also adding in LTF specific calls for this cohort. So it's definitely worth it if you're in it. You get that complimentary for 1 year when you join Laying the Foundation now. If you're an LTF grad, and many of our grads stay on, it's just $49 after that. You can join, cancel at any time for the membership. It goes on a month-by-month basis. As far as our other community, we have our general community, which is more of like a peer-run community. We are managing it, meaning like we have a community manager. But it's basically a peer-run community. The people who answer questions are your peers, and that's the Thrive by Design group, and that's the group that's attached to my podcast. So if you just want to be in a free jewelry group, it's a great group to be in, although you're not going to get the kind of value you're going to get in the Diamond Insiders. It's like asking experts for support and people who've been there and done that versus asking like some random that you don't know if the advice they're giving is the right advice or not. So, and sometimes the advice is good. I'm not going to say that it's not good, but it's just a different experience is the best way to put it. Allison, is there anything you would add to that? Because I feel like I'm like totally like bashing on the Thrive by Design because it is a great group. It's just a different experience.
Yeah, it's just, we have our trained and approved coaches giving advice in the Diamond Insiders group, and the Thrive by Design group is basically a public forum. So we have no control over the advice you might receive in there because it could be from, anyone who decides to join the group. So we're not monitoring or regulating the education you might get there. So it's basically you kind of have to pick and choose what advice from your fellow designers you would like to take. But it's definitely, that's coming from the public. It's not coming from our trained professional coaches.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. Much better explained than what I did.
Rachel wants to know, do you go over Facebook ads in this course?
Yes. In the last module, we talk about paid advertising, but we don't. So here's the thing with advertising. We have advertising coaches in our Momentum program. That's our $1,000 a month if you're doing the top level in the program, or we have a $500 a month option in there too with the group coaching. So that's our like scaling your sales online program. We teach you how to like systematize and really grow your business to multiple six figures and beyond. We cover paid advertising in Laying the Foundation on a very basic level. Here's the reason why. Most people who are taking Laying the Foundation are not ready for ads. Ads need to be strategically used in a way once you have the brand foundations set up. There are times when ads will work earlier on, but it is really a long game. And I've seen other teachers talk about this, spend $1 a day, but you're competing with Facebook algorithms, people with big budgets, people are spending thousands of dollars a day. And the chances of your ads getting out there, ads are a long game. So I don't ever start with teaching people how to run ads when they haven't really crossed, they don't have enough revenue coming into their company to lose money. Does that make sense? And you can run ads on a very small budget. And the best way that I would recommend running ads, if you do have a small budget, is to have a Shopify website and use one of their remarketing apps where you can plug it into your Facebook remarketing, where if someone is on your website and they leave, then you see the remarketing ad on Facebook. It's basic. I think Kit is one of them. I might be getting that wrong. Or Facebook remarketing is another one. And that's a simple way to get into advertising if you don't want to go and set up in the ads manager. The other reason why we don't cover ads in depth and why we only handle this in our coaching program is that the ads manager and everything related to ads, and I know Allison would speak to this as well because she worked at an agency, the interface and everything in the rules change like literally every single month. So it's really hard to create a training about how to set up ads every single month. And so like really what we do in our higher end programs is we bring like ad experts in to talk about ads and strategy and all that stuff. And so, and we use it in that program specifically because like I said, most people aren't really ready for ads until they have a funnel set up, until they have their website is optimized so that if traffic's landing on there, they can capture leads if they're not ready to buy. Like there's a lot of things that need to happen before you set the ads up. And I've seen so many people run ads and be like, oh, I'm getting a ton of traffic to my website, but like, no one's converting. It's because like, you're just throwing money in the trash, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. We teach the foundation of ads and the strategy that you can take with you and will apply no matter what changes come up. Yeah. But with all aspects of social media, they are rapidly changing on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. So we don't want to give any information that might be on point for today, but might mislead you, next month or a year from now. And that's why we have those live in the moment coaching so that you know what's going on right now to build on that strong foundation that you get in LTF.
Awesome.
Another question from Rachel. This is a great question. Are the calls or lives in the Diamond Insiders Facebook group recorded? I sometimes have difficulty catching everything due to some of my other commitments, but I want to make sure I could take advantage of all of those live trainings.
Everything is recorded, and they're always stored in either the Diamond Insiders member site or the LTF member site or in the Facebook group. So you have access to them. We record them. We have a backup. You don't have to join live. You can always watch it later. If you're ever having questions or difficulty finding where those are, the coaches are there to help support you and find them.
Amazing. I think we worked through all of our questions and right on time. We have 2 minutes.
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much. I am super excited to welcome so many people into laying the foundation. Once again, we got a few minutes left. If you still haven't registered, I'm going to keep this like extra bonus open for a second. And you're on the fence and you're thinking about it, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/LTF and join now. And you'll get access to our kickoff call on Monday, which is at 1:30, and the Success Maximizer bundle as a bonus for joining us on this live Q&A. So thanks so much for joining us today. I'm really excited for this cohort and I'm so excited for the new version of this program. It is really, if I do say so myself, we really outdone ourselves. It's really good. So I'm really excited for this. And I think you're going to really love it. And I can't wait to like really just witness and see how your business grows. And I hope that like in a year from now, like you're one of the case studies that we share at the same time next year, because it's going to be awesome. Rachel's asking, she's got one more quick question. Does PayPal only work with the pay in full feature? No, it shouldn't. And once again, if you're having any issues, Rachel, you could just email us at support@flourishthriveacademy.com, and our team can help you out with that. It should work for the payment plan. You just go, once you get onto the order form where you fill out your details, there's a PayPal button if you scroll down, and it should work for the payment plan or the pay in full. Liz did it. Yay, Liz. We're so excited. Woohoo. Can't wait. All right, you guys, let's do this. Allison, thank you for being with me. Any final words?
No, I'm so excited for all of you. Again, if you have any additional questions, we'll be hanging out in the Facebook groups, or you can email our support email, and we would love to chat with you and answer any and all questions that you have.
Okay, awesome. Rachel said it disappeared when she went to pay. Okay, email us at support. We'll help you out. We'll figure it out. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Ciao, ciao.